Coming next month, we have the Ethereum merge, the largest fork in history. We have XLS20, the amendment to enable native NFT support on the XRP ledger. And we have FLR Networks coming out of its 8-week observation mode. Happy end of month, and let's dive into today's video. What's up guys, Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. I want to dive through a list of big crypto announcements coming for this September, and then we're going to dive into iTrustCapital. First up, the Ethereum merge, also known as the ETH merge. This is the biggest fork in crypto history. Mid-September is when Ethereum's blockchain migrates from proof of work to proof of stake. And the Ethereum mainnet will merge with the Beacon Chain proof of stake system, leading to a full transition of proof of stake. And this properly sets the stage for future scaling upgrades, including sharding. And sharding, for anybody that may not know, is a database partitioning technique. Sharding essentially splits a blockchain's network into smaller partitions known as shards. And each shard or fraction of the network is comprised of its own data, making it distinctive and independent when compared to other shards. And the benefit of sharding leads to improved scalability, allowing blockchains to process more transactions per second. So although sharding can improve the scalability and overall TPS on these networks, there are also security concerns because these individual shards can be attacked. However, one of the biggest benefits of this entire merge is that it will reduce Ethereum's energy consumption by approximately 99.95%. So this is super exciting. The Ethereum management has finally revealed the launch date of Ethereum 2.0 is September 6th. However, the final stage is happening between September 10th and September 20th. I know that CryptoCal is saying approximately September 15th. Next up, we have the long-awaited XLS20 amendment on XRP Scan to enable NFT support on the XRP ledger. So provided that consensus stays above 80%, not at, it has to be above, for the next 2 weeks by September 14th, give or take, then great news. So you can go to xrpscan.com/amendments and you pick this very first one, version 1 9.2. We can see non-fungible tokens. When you click that, we can see the current consensus is in fact above 80 at 82.86. And it looks like we'll find out the night of September 13th. So anybody in the XRP community, we want this number to stay above 80%, so that the XRP ledger can finally enable native NFT support. And lastly, FLR Networks will be coming out of observation mode for an 8-week period, which takes us into mid-September or until the point at which sufficient validation power has passed to external validators such as FLR Foundation is no longer in control of the network. For example, no more than 33% of validation power is controlled by FLR alone. And we also have to keep an eye on the FLR distribution governance proposal. So per FLR Network's roadmap for end of year, the token distribution is still on. And then we'll be able to stake and delegate different F assets, including FXRP. Keep an eye on some airdrops on FLR Networks, including PNG or Pangolin. And in the meantime, while we wait, there's 2 things I recommend doing so that you're a little bit more prepared than others. First up, be sure to follow FLR Community or @CommunityFLR on Twitter. He's been a good friend of mine for a long time. Great dude, great YouTube channel, and great information going over everything related to FLR Networks. He provided a YouTube tutorial here along with XRP Crow or Status, and as you can see, one thing I recommend is connecting your MetaMask to FLR Networks. So for example, right in my MetaMask, we can come up here, we can add a network next to our Ethereum mainnet, and I already manually added FLR. So when we click FLR, we can see FLR and then import wrapped FLR. And then another thing you can do now is download Bifrost Wallet. This is a free download at bifrostwallet.com. As you can see, we have FXRP, additional F assets, and Spark. Okay, now let's dive into the good stuff. So we have this infographic here, and this is absolutely key. This is shared by Fidelity, and this is an infographic to demonstrate the power of compounding interest, as Albert Einstein has said, is the 8th wonder of the world. This shows the power of investing early and consistently, and the millions of dollars that this can generate. This concept is something I didn't discover until I was about 17 or 18 years old when I got my first Roth IRA, and this is the reason that I became a millionaire in my 20s. Now, of course, crypto helps with that extensively, but I wanted to show you this. And this picture alone should show you why the best time to start is now. Even if you don't like cryptocurrency, please apply this to investing in general. For this example, these are annual Roth IRA contributions. Remember, everything in the future is 100% tax-free. And this is why I signed up for iTrustCapital in January of 2020. And this is linked in the video description. It is completely free. There is just a 1% transaction charge, just like Coinbase. So if you decide to trade your assets or buy and sell, there's a 1% fee. iTrustCapital used to be $30 a month, and now they bumped it down to $0 a month. So example 1, we have annual contributions of just $3,000 between ages 15 to 20. And in this example, they ended up with over $3.1 million by the age of retirement. If you start at age 25, there's still plenty of opportunity. As you can see, with $6,000 contributions, you can still get close to $2 million. But waiting to start until age 45, you're still under $500,000. And the person in the top column that only invested for a 5 to 6 year period versus waiting until you're age 45 made almost 7 times more money. 3.1 million versus 449,000. And this hypothetical example only has an annual rate of return of 7%, which I think is super conservative. And I initially started my first Roth IRA in just a typical index fund, and we can see this rate of return, the S&P 500 index, an average ROI, or rate of return I should say, at 11.88%. And this example was only 7. If we applied a 10, 11, or even 12% rate for this, these numbers would be insane. So once again, this is 24/7, 365, completely free. You can click pricing. Of course, there are 0 monthly fees, and as I said, a 1% transaction fee if you decide to trade. You can see that Polkadot is the first asset to be listed for staking, currently up to 9.5% APY. So iTrustCapital is integrated with Coinbase Custody, Fireblocks, some of the biggest institutions in the world, and I would assume that there's going to be more assets in the future. However, I haven't heard any news about staking for Cardano, Solana, or ETH after the merge. But I'd assume that's in the roadmap. Another piece of good news is additional contributions for iTrustCapital are now as low as $500. I know it used to be $1,000 as your minimum contribution, or minimum additional contribution. They've also surpassed over $6 billion in crypto individual retirement account transactions, marking a 200% increase in the last 12 months. And University of Southern California, or USC Athletics, has officially partnered with iTrustCapital as their official platform for the USC Trojans. So another cool feature besides just the basic market orders and buying a crypto at its current price, for algo in this case would be 29 cents, we can actually set conditional transactions, which essentially are just limit orders. I can buy so many tokens of algo, and then I can sell maybe 50% when algo hits 50 cents. Another cool piece of news from Coinbase, HBAR or Hedera Hashgraph has been added to the roadmap. Now the good thing about HBAR is we have native staking officially live, which is just another checkmark to be added on Coinbase. Once they add integrations for Coinbase Custody, I would assume they're going to be added to iTrustCapital. And as you can see, Fireblocks right here announcing support for Hedera Hashgraph. Now Fireblocks, along with Coinbase Custody, are behind iTrustCapital. So Fireblocks has actually backed HBAR for quite some time, but now that we have Coinbase potentially listing it soon, I hope sooner than later, I'd expect to see HBAR listed alongside these dozens of assets. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe. All links can be found in my Linktree linked in the video description, and I will catch you in the next one.